Hello, my name is Danielle Bell. I have the part of sharing with you how to make samples for your customers, how to mail those samples that'll cost you the least amount of money. That used to take me the most amount of time to prepare sample packets was writing out instructions and information about what I'm sending them, how to use it. In came these amazing sample cards. So I have a mini facial, I have a mini pedicure, the third card is a mini manicure. Print those out on cardstock. I created the cards in PicMonkey and I have the file saved and I update it as needed. These cards, I use a paper cutter. This one is Westcott. It is fantastic. I got this one for like $9 at Walmart. For free samples, I send a mini facial, so a face wash, mask, and a moisturizer, and a hand cream. I offer them deluxe samples. I used to do $3.50, but I always end up having to pay more than $3.50, especially if we have two catalogs. So I bumped it up to $4 to help cover for supplies. So first I'm going to show you how I mail samples when I'm mailing them the free samples. So I'm sending BFF, Cackle Spackle. This is a homemade, and I will show you how I make these. These are from the Portal. I just wanted you to see the difference between Portal samples. I created this social media card. I used to write a note. I have started just writing my personal note on the back of my social media card, so that cuts down on the thickness. We have these new Pamper and Paid, Share Posh today, Get Paid, and Play tonight. So that's what I'm including. I just like to have two cards because I like the protection. So I put a piece of double-sided tape in the top left corner. Start with my face wash. Make sure that you have your contact information on every single card, every single sample. Those are mini address labels. Put one in the top left, so I'm going to put a piece of tape right here. It has a label on it. I'm going to put it right up next to the corner. Now I'm going to put Moisturize 911, and I'm going to fit it right underneath BFF so that everything lays flat and it's not bulkier on one side or the other. The product will kind of move and disperse as needed. This one is very thick, so that's how it looks. There is a little bit, it's a little bit thicker on this side, but I will show you how I'm going to even that out a little bit. I have their mini facial card. I also have this, and it's about the Pampered and Paid instant commissions. So I have all of their samples. Then I'm going to write my personal note here. It really helps if you will set up an expectation that I will follow up in 2 to 3 days. And it depends on how you are mailing them. So if you're mailing them with a stamp, it's going to take like 4 to 5 days before they get them. You need to mark a date on your calendar. You'd mailed it this day, count 4 to 5 days, and then start checking in and see, hey, have you received your samples yet? Here's the most important part that I have started doing. I would really appreciate it if you would take a picture of the samples that I'm sending you, then try them, post the pic on your personal Facebook page, tag me in the post, which is so important, and use the hashtag, and it's just the number sign, and then mine is poshbydaniellebell. So personal note is written, samples are evenly double-sided taped to the Pamper and Paid instant commissions card. I put my social media card on top, so I just slide all of this. I will include my business card. Then what I do, I squeeze everything over to one side, fold the top down, tape it. If you're using a Google form, and you'll see my Google form in another training, that Google form, the results flow over to a Google spreadsheet like Excel. You need to make yourself extra columns so that you can put what samples you're sending them. The next column should be what did they order, the date you followed up, the next date you followed up, what the conversation was, they loved. Be sure and keep notes of products that they fell in love with so that if they go out of stock, you know to be on the eye when they come back and let them know, or if they come back next season. But if you are taking good care of your customers and providing good customer service, then you are going to know next summer I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask everybody that loved Beach Blanket, do you want to be on my waiting list? And as soon as it comes out, I will know how many you want and I will get them ordered. That's good customer service, and that is what is going to build loyalty, and that is what's going to grow your team. People, when they see what you're doing and they see you're doing an awesome job, that's going to draw them in to want to be part of that. So I just taped down at the top, and then the excess that was too wide, because I used 5x7s, I folded it over and taped it. What I have been doing, I either use a piece of plain white printer paper, or I have like these little note sheets, and I just take one and I write on the back of it. I suggest ordering the less expensive labels and making your own return address label and hand write the mailing address for your customer. So I just taped at the top, and I'm going to put a piece of tape at the bottom. Okay, so that's ready to go. This is important. Now is when you slide it into, I don't love these cellophane bags with the self-sealing, and you'll see why in just a second. But this is what I have left, so this is what I'm using. But I will post the link to the ones that aren't self-sealing, because I use tape anyways, so there's really no point in having to pull this little strip off. But just like before, you slide your bag all the way over to one side, and then you're going to fold straight over. Then I'm going to fold over the last part and tape it. You can't make these too thick. 1/4 of an inch thick or 1/2 inch thick is too thick, but I will post a chart from the U.S. Post Office. So it's in cellophane. This is the most important part, is the cellophane. Because even if you put it in one of these little bags and you mail it with the non-machinable stamp, that will not prevent it from being ran through the U.S. Post Office. They have a sorting machine, but it smashes samples if they're inside and they go through that. It busts them open. You are going to put it all nice and flat so it doesn't weigh over 2 ounces. If it weighs 2.1, this 70-cent, you're going to have to go and get another 1 ounce stamp to put with this. So if it's 2 ounces or less, you're good with a butterfly stamp. And that's why I have a handy dandy postal scale. Sometimes I put the pricing at a glance in with these, but really, if I was only sending maybe 2 samples, maybe 3, I would definitely fold this up and then fold it up again. But I will show you when I definitely use those, because I've had several that have came with footprints on the package. I bought these. It just gets their attention. Since I've been doing this, I have not had any that have been stomped or busted. So it's a very small investment. And if I'm spending my time and my money making these samples, I am absolutely going to throw on a handle with care. Fragile. Thank you. Here's the number one part. Always, always, always put on your butterfly stamp last. Always put the stamp on the outside. So that is how I send 70 cents. And let's weigh it. It is 1.5. So I definitely could have put a pricing at a glance in there, and it would have been under 2 ounces. So that's awesome. The key is the cellophane, the non-machinable, the thickness. And if you really care about getting it to your customer and it not being stomped on, get this sticker. It's a huge roll. 500 labels for $8. Some people have actually sent Laycons, and this is something that I'm going to play around with. This is a Laycon. You can get them in the Portal. I love the Portal ones. There's a LA Container Family. To me, their prices are better, but then when you go and you see how much shipping is, it's about the same as the ones that are in the Portal. So if you're placing an order and you're paying $5.99 shipping, to me, if I need Laycons, I try not to use them at all because they cost more to ship. But if I'm going to get them, I'm going to get them in the Portal from Posh. So this is how I label. I put the label for the product on the top, and then on the bottom I put my information with a round sticker. So do you see how thick these are? The thing with being able to send them for 70 cents, they are way too thick. They make smaller Laycons that I think would work, that you could definitely maybe do this, but I have not tried that yet. I ordered these. I ordered 500 of them for, I want to say, $15 on Amazon, and I will post the link to these. These are heat seal Mylar bags. New favorite little tool. is a mini hair straightener. I got this on Amazon for $11.99. You can buy the little, and I don't even have it with me, what they call heat sealers, but they come from Japan and they make horrible like burn marks. It's not a pretty seal at all. I have used my own full-size personal straightener for the past year. It always made the ends of the sample crinkle up and like not lay flat. But this in particular, this mini straightener, makes it a much nicer seal. So I'm going to make some to show you. So for these, they are already sealed on the bottom, and that's where they would tear to open them. So you flip them up. I use my finger, spread it open, and then I pinch on one side so that it's as wide open as it can be. Then I take the product, maybe you can see this, and I just slowly let it drop. You don't want the product to get next to the sides. At the very top, I don't put a ton because they only need a small amount to tell if they like the scent, to tell if it goes okay on their skin, and then they can order more. So if you see, you try to get it down in the pack, but not around the top edges, because that's where the seal is going to be. So I like to take and squeeze the product away from the top that I've got to seal, so it's down in the bottom. So I just hold it at the end of the bag. Sometimes it'll make a little sizzle. Then I like to flip it over and seal from a different direction. That way, if it is kind of crinkling up at all, I can usually flatten it out. So if you see that, nice and neat, no crazy like ripples and burn marks. It's very smooth seal. These are what I call my mini address labels. I use these for sample make. These are perfect. I print all my own sample stickers. As a new consultant, which you'll see in my video, you can get them half off. And I do highly recommend snatching those up when in your first 60 days. That'll get you off to a great first start, which is what I did when I joined. I got the stickers half off. And they're portal stickers that I've had since I joined. If you go to Walmart, in the bead section where there's tools for making crafts with beads, earrings, they have clear baggies. Okay, I use these for bath salts, and I also use them for chunk bar samples and snarky bar samples, which this one's a little bit bigger. This is a Healer snarky bar sample. This one's a little bit too thick. I would not normally. I probably accidentally made that one a little thicker. For snarky bars, you do not have to heat them up. You can cut right through them like butter with a knife. I usually have the snarky bar long ways, and then I slice, and then I go back and I slice each piece in half. So you have two little squares. For the chunk bars, microwave those. I put them on a glass microwavable safe plate. Take them out of the wrapper. The only one that I have found you do not have to heat up is the new Always Gonna Love You chunk bar. The rest of them, I put them in, we'll pretend this is my glass plate, pop it in the microwave, 10 seconds. When it comes out, I flip it completely over, 10 seconds. So that's 2 times. After that 10 seconds, I stand it up, 10 more seconds. That's 3. And then usually I will lay it over on its side for 10 more seconds, so that's 4. 40 seconds, and you want it to feel the same heat through and through. You don't want it to be cold on one end and really good and warm on the rest. So if it's cold on one end, put that end up and do 10 more seconds. But 40 seconds usually is all that I have to do it. So that's how to cut up chunk bars. So for this one, same thing. Open it up as wide as you possibly can. This is where I have a real hard time spending money on the portal. For what you would spend on samples, you can get hundreds out of one tub of body butter. I made samples out of fresh creamy milk, 1 tub of it for a full year. So if that helps you, saves you some money, I'm glad to help. So I use this like butter knife. You can use this, or you can use the little plastic spatulas. You can use one of those. I really like this because it's longer and allows me to get the product in the very bottom. You'll see. You want all the product to be on one side. I scrape off the excess, and you want to be able to get it down in the bag without touching the top, all the way around at the very top. I've got it spread as open, as wide as I can. I'm clean and clear all the way to the bottom. Then I just have to squeeze pull out the rest, clean off the end. Then I have all the product down in the bottom. That is plenty for body butter. So we're just going to seal and flip it over just so you have a nice flat seal. Easy peasy. Put my mini address label with my info. That is how you can do body butter samples. Super, super inexpensive. You can even put bath salts in these. The body scrubs that come in the tubs are a little bit more difficult to get down in there, but not impossible. The body polishes are super easy to squeeze down in these, and because the size is so much smaller and the thickness is smaller, you could possibly send 6 handmade Mylar samples for 70 cents or more, probably, because they're so much smaller and not as thick. So if you want to be able to send people more samples for less, make your own. Okay, so now we have made it to my deluxe sample pack that I offer for $4 shipping. If they cover shipping, I give them deluxe treatment. What comes first in that is a mini facial. So they get the card, I check off the products. Here I have BFF, Cackle Spackle, and Serves You Bright. Check off. I would put labels on all of these. Some of them already have them. This is different than what I do. These go all into I think these are 3 inches by 4 inches. These are the baggies that I said you can get all different sizes in the bead section at Walmart. So all of those go in there. Seal it up. For mini manicure, I have a body polish for the scrub. Then they're going to wash with a chunk bar. Then they're going to follow up with a hand cream. I check off which products I'm sending them. Slide the card, slide the body polish, and the chunk bar. Now with the Portal hand cream samples, you're going to have to roll down and fold them if you use this size bag. I like these. They're super inexpensive. It's like $1 for like 100 of them. Seal it up. There's their mini manicure. For the mini pedicure, check off the products you're sending. So they're going to get a bath salt, body scrub, snarky bar, or polish, and a body butter, body balm, body cream. Before incorporating bath salts into my deluxe sample packets, I didn't sell any bath salts at all. And now I sell lots of bath salts, especially the Bubble Up and Sleepy Sleep, even Muscle Through. Lots of people have aches and pains. I want to say this is a 1 teaspoon, which is really a bit much. And I want to say it's a half a teaspoon. That's better. Because this is not enough for a bath. This is for them, which I have started handwriting on the card. But next time I make more cards, I'm going to type it. Where it says soak feet with the included bath salts, I'm going to say soak feet in a bowl or bath basin with warm water, including the bath salt, because it's for their feet. So I've had people that get these samples and they throw them in their bathtub and they expect to have any kind of results. Well, there's not enough. You would probably, for a bath, you would do 1 to 2 scoops, and look how big that scoop is. So that's not going to be enough for a bath. But you have to tell people that. Most people, they know that it says it's for your feet. Soak your feet, not your whole body. So I would put my information label on one side and the cold on hold label on the other. So I have the card, put in the bath salt, the snarky bar, and then they're going to follow up with a body butter. So all of those fit down nice and neat. So now they have their 3 experiences, and I usually write or tell them personally, you don't have to use them in this way. Most of them are body products and you can use them anywhere, neck to toes, because if they don't want to use the body polish just on their hands, of course they can use it on their body. Typically 9 samples when they pay for shipping. So I list that on my Google form, which I'll show you in the next video. They know what they could get for paying shipping. They know that they could get way more of an experience, and 9 times out of 10 they are all for it. And that shows me if they're all for paying $4 for shipping, then they are very likely to place an order. If they are wanting something for free, odds are they're just wanting free samples. Not all the time though. I have had some get the free sample packet and place a $150 order and then a $175 order like 2 days later. You never know, so do not judge. Now we have mini facial, mini pedicure, and mini manicure samples. For people who want free samples, I do not include snarky samples, chunk bar samples, bath salt samples, because those are too thick and they won't go and mail for 70 cents. That's what I do, and that has saved me. I used to go and spend $70, probably is the most I spent at one time, and that'll break the bank. Like, you will not be profitable if you spend all your money in shipping. If you're like me, if you have tons of extra money and you're just doing this for fun, then by all means, spend $2 or $3 on each person. But I can't do it. I can't do it, and I had to stop, and I stopped doing that probably last October, November. It has been a completely different story. I have had more people pay for the deluxe packet. I very rarely have to make these. I use the hostess flyer that it tells them if they host a party what they will earn. I use the join card. I put a regular size mailing label on both of those. Then I take a pricing at a glance. Lots of people don't want to flip through to find where the prices are. They're on the back of the catalog, but I have a feeling no one notices this. This label is a 2" by 4" label because the front of ours is gorgeous. This is the updated core catalog, and I didn't want to cover anything up, so I use a big, nice label on the back, and maybe that draws attention to the pick your 6 because the 6th one is free. If you want, and if you're not sending a catalog, then you can totally take a pick your 6, which I'm going to do on this one and see what happens, and staple it to the pricing at a glance. How fun is that? I'm super excited. So there they can glance at the prices and they can add what the items they want on their little sheet. I like to put this inside of the hostess flyer. Put it with the join card. If they say they're interested in the business opportunity, then I include the Love Posh, Be Posh join booklet and a catalog. Have 6x9 poly mailers. A deluxe sample packet is an opportunity packet. It has everything that I would include to someone that's interested in joining. Sometimes, if they're not interested in joining, I will, instead of the join booklet, I will send the all about the brand. When I'm doing deluxe, I use my social media card, goes straight down in the front with a handwritten note on the back, business card. So that is what it looks like when I get it. If there are any special promos going on, we just changed Posh the People. If they said they were interested in joining, I have started printing out these. I take the image for the monthly starter kit, and then I say see the back, and on the back I have, you're loving these awesome samples, then you should totally consider getting the starter kit. Even if you only ordered for yourself, friends, and family, it is totally worth it for the 20% discount / commission. So many people still don't know what Posh is, and we are on the verge of massive growth. I would love for you to join my tribe and be a part of this amazing company. Let me know if you're interested, and I would love to share more info with you. These products have transformed my skin and changed my life. It was the best decision I have ever made. Slide this down. A deluxe packet. I would have the core catalog and the join brochure. So to protect the samples, I would do double-sided tape on the back of each sample packet, and I would put them all down the center of the join brochure with double-sided tape so that they're not going to slide around. And then the core catalog goes on top of that. This packet goes on the very top. All of this goes into a poly mailer. So I would slide all of it down in a poly mailer. These are, I want to say 10 by 13. I have everything in here that I would need. I would fold it down and label and seal it at the top. And then just to keep everything from sliding around, I go ahead and fold down the back side and I tape that too. So everything is nice and snug. It's protected by the join catalog on the back. The core catalog is in front of the samples. This will ship for $4 or less. It's usually about $386, $368. But if they're paying for it, then I want them to have everything that they need for their deluxe pampering experience. Making samples of skin sticks. Super easy. I got these mini lip balm containers from the soapysoapcompany.com. But I roll up, if you can see on the inside, you probably can't see with this lighting, but I roll it up just so it's just below the top of the container, because you don't want to have to fill this whole entire lip balm tube, but you want it to be enough that they can apply it to a eczema spot a couple times, and they're going to see really quick that it works, and they're going to want to order a healer. So I'm just going to show you. I use the same like butter knife type. I used the little butter knife. This is my healer. It's scraped flat because this is the one I use for samples, and I just kind of scrape across, and then I kind of smash it down a little bit just to keep it from falling apart. Okay, so I've got some here. I am just going to carefully slide it over. Get some more. So I got about that much more. And that's probably plenty, because you want it to look like a smooth surface, but you don't want it to be like a ton of product, because this is totally enough. You don't want to put a ton because you want them to order them. I just kind of make it smooth on top and then pop the lid on. So I cut it in half, like right underneath where it says the healer stick. I cut that part off. Then I line it up the flat side with right above where you twist and apply it, and that is how you make a skin stick sample. The next video will be me showing you my Google form. Stay tuned for the next training video, and I hope that this made sense. If it did not, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the video, email me. You can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, and then you'll also be able to comment under the actual video on YouTube. So I am super excited that I have finally put all of these trainings together, because in the past I have done other videos and never put all of the information together at once. Stay tuned for the Google Forms training and how I track my customers in Excel. Bye!